Okay, so if you're like me and you're a Cinder fan, or maybe was a Cinder fan up until this point, you're probably feeling a lot like this right about now.
You were the chosen one!
I really debated back and forth about going over this and making a video about it, but I felt it was important, to reach out to my fellow Cinder fans, or Pyro Puffs as they are called. Now, I wouldn't call myself the biggest Cinder fan. I have other VTubers I do enjoy watching, but she was really becoming my favorite, and it's really disappointing to see how all this is unfolded and how she ended up treating people behind the scenes. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, I watched all of this happen in real time on Twitter over the weekend. Now, yesterday was my birthday, so I tried to stay off the internet a little bit and kind of just do my own thing. And then, of course, I come back this morning, and now I'm catching up on all the information. So I wanted to talk about it because, like I said, it did hit a little bit. I actually do have some merch that I have bought of Cinder. I really loved her character design, for one. And then number two, like I said, whenever I needed kind of uplifting, I would watch her stuff, like her clips and things, and it would uplift me quite a bit. And I know that's the same for a lot of fans. So let's get into how this controversy kind of started and where it's kind of at now. Now, keep in mind, there is a lot of people that got thrown into this mix, a lot of VTubers and things like that. So let's just kind of go through this. So it says here that the popular Twitch VTuber Sinder has come under negative limelight following accusations from VTuber artist Nanolist. Now, Nanolist is an artist that does a lot of different art for all the different VTubers that people watch. Very, very talented artist. I'm pretty sure they have a Patreon, so I would highly recommend checking him out. But yes, very talented artist. But anyway, the Nanolist who issued a Google document about the termination of work within the same, Nanolist accused Cinder and her manager, Redacted, I'll bring him back up here later, about manipulating, using, and dragging them into the drama while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people they thought were the VTuber's closest friends. The document was posted on Nanolist's X handle on April 26, 2025, and the controversy has spread like wildfire. Since then, here we take a detailed look at all the accusations aimed at a VTuber, Cinder, and Redacted. Now, keep in mind, like I said, there's a lot of names that got thrown around during this whole ordeal. Silverveil being one of them. Cottontail was thrown in there. Shy Lily. And Bao the Whale. Now, keep in mind, these are all people, all these VTubers are supposed to be friends behind the scenes. So keep all that in mind as we continue to go through this. Nanolist accuses Cinder and Redacted about slandering other creators exclusively and blacklisting other creators. And so here is the tweet that I'm not going to bring up all these documents, by the way. I'm going to leave a link to this article, and it will kind of help you. If you want to look more into this, you can go through and read all the documents, because there's a lot of Google documents that got uploaded by several different people. So let's go on here. Nanolist documents consist of several allegations. The first one of being about Cinder and Redacted. Redacted is Cinder's manager, by the way, and now outed as her boyfriend. So basically what a lot of people are saying is that there's no way she didn't know, because most of the conversations that happen in the screenshots and the documents involve Redacted. So I want to also make sure that that is perfectly clear. Now, as part of the same, the VTuber artist shared several Discord screenshots, which that of Redacted, Nanolist claimed that the two spoke ill and spread rumors about other streamers. Nanolist exactly stated, I will start with screenshots showing them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me, and that's all in our best interest. In addition to spreading ill rumors, they also contain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work, resulting in the editor not having any time for new clients, which we also found out isn't true. It sounds like that editor actually chose to work with Bao, according to the documents. which will be important later on. The screenshots below show them showing their affection and appreciation, immediately followed by spreading rumors and lies to make other clients appear problematic to manipulate any future discussions regarding commissions. Added to this, Nanolith's document also mentions about Redacted speaking ill about VTubers like Shay Lily, who is another popular name. Coming to the exclusivity, Sinder and Redacted essentially wanted to issue an exclusivity contract, but didn't want to pay about the same. That, first of all, that's really shady. Really shady. You treat artists with respect. That's all I gotta say. Nanolith additionally mentioned that they would compensate for not working with content creators, but they had blacklisted the document mentions. They mentioned wanting an exclusivity contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity, but rather when the creator from their blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Sinder only, and if anyone asked me for commissions, they'd commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. That is shady business practices right there. I just have to say. And these are supposed to be Cinder's friends, mind you, by the way. A lot of these other VTubers that would come ask for commissions from this artist, they were supposed to be friends. I personally could never do that to a friend, ever. My personal philosophy in life is put people first. That's always been my philosophy. This felt very strange given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet their solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. She also added, the messages below show that their primary concern is that the more non-Sinder models I make, the less valuable, quote unquote, my existing models become. That is a bunch of horseshit. I'm sorry. If you're a really good artist, it doesn't matter how much of your art is out there, people are going to find it valuable. That is ridiculous, and I do not understand that mindset at all. It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist. I can imagine that it would. That by working with other people, I'm somehow making my existing models less special. My message to Nanolith and all in that is you are a great artist, and no matter how many times you do different pieces of art for other different VTubers, your art is great and it is valuable no matter who it is. And I've seen a lot of her art, and she puts something different into every piece of art she does. It's not always the same. So I don't understand where this whole thing of, oh, it's not gonna be worth as much or more valuable. I don't buy it. Anyway, later on, after all this comes to light, Sinder post on Twitter saying, effective immediately, Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I'm able. And now I would say, go ahead. I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description. You can go ahead and come. These are all the different documents that other people have uploaded because this was community noted. That way you can read through these if you want to get a lot more context, because there is a lot of context behind this situation. All right. And then Van Peaches, another VTuber, mentions as a response to this thing, I remember playing Phasmophobia when you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched it up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip. Let's go ahead and show more. Let's go ahead and go over to this Twitter page right here. Before we met for TwitchCon, you switched it up. Just so you know, my manager is coming with me. Yep, we already read that. I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other, which I agree. I agree that that's really messed up too. This is supposed to be someone you're with. You've got a partnership with. You know, I could never imagine doing anything like that to my wife. That makes no sense to me. You're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. Okay, so let's go ahead, and that was a foreshadow, because when she dropped her apology, that is exactly what happened. Following the official post by Nanolith, Sinder announced that Redacted will no longer, yep, we have already read that. And of course, she drops her apology, right? And this happened the 27th. Now, let's go down. Finally, Cinder posted a document titled My Apology. Now, on my birthday of all days, ironically. The same officially confirmed Redacted as her partner, and the duo were together since she began her journey. So she admitted it because it got outed. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal life separate. I mean, that is a good idea to do. Now, me personally, I like to be fully transparent. Look, I am a dude using a female avatar VTuber model. I am married. I have a family. That is my full transparency with that. I am not trying to pretend anything that I'm not, right? But I also understand why people would like to do that. I'm just here trying to make content, all right? And I like streaming and making videos. But anyway, as of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention us publicly, but given the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing. Totally a cop-out. Totally a cop-out. I'm sorry. And what should be important to me as I navigate this career path, I have a terrible work-life balance. I can understand that part. Okay? I can understand having a terrible work-life balance. And being around projects and streams all day, every day made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy. No, you got caught up and what seems like a history of mistreating people. And if you dig into this further, and there's more information coming out today as I'm making this video. Silverveil's already doing a live stream as I speak in this video talking about the situation as well. Numi has already come out and talked about a few things that have happened. So this is not just, I made a couple of mistakes. This has been behavior that's gone on for 5 years. This is pretty much the end of the article. So if you want to dig into this, like I said, I will leave a link in the description and you can go through and check all these different documents and dig into it. My message through this whole thing is that put your loved ones and your family and your friends first. Don't step on them to try to get ahead in life. In fact, encourage your friends to get ahead. Let me give you an example of something that I've done. I want to see my friends succeed in life. I want to see them get ahead. And if they get further than me, that's okay. I am totally okay with that. A couple years ago, I bought a motorcycle from my friend who really wanted to put money down on a house. And that sale was the difference between him getting a house and not. And I wanted to make sure he got, yes, I wanted a motorcycle, but ultimately I wanted him to get his house. I like to boost my friends and my family up as much as I can. Have I been perfect in my past? No. And I will openly admit that. But I try to be a better person today. And I don't understand how you can have these close friends and step on them like that, especially ones that have been there for you. And I'm sorry for all of you Sinder fans that are discovering what she truly is. My hope is that Sinder will eventually get the help she needs, learn and grow from this as a person. And if she does manage to come back from this, I hope she's a better person for it. I truly do hope that. And I would love to continue going and watching her streams and content again, knowing she became a better person. But right now, I can't support that kind of behavior. All right, that's all I got for this video today, guys. If you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription if you're new here, if you did enjoy. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, it will be a much more uplifting one. And see you around. Peace out.